It's 6 p.m. I'll call this meeting of the Washington County Board of Supervisors to order. We're all present except for Pam Conrath is on the way. Brian Gallitz is excused. I think that's it.
Yeah.
So we'll rise for a moment of silent prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Our first order of business is a public hearing, Tax Equity and Fiscal Responsibility Act hearing.
The County Board of Supervisors of Washington County, Wisconsin will hold a public hearing on November 8th, 2023 at 6 p.m. or as soon thereafter as the matter may be heard at the Herbert J. Tenney's Government Center, room 1019, 432 East Washington Street, West Bend, Wisconsin, pursuant to the requirements of Section 147F of the Internal Revenue Code of 1986 as amended, and the applicable Treasury regulations. The purpose of the public hearing is to consider the issuance by the county of its not to exceed $6,250,000 general obligation bonds.
I'll open the public hearing. Does anyone wish to speak? Again, does anyone wish to speak? And a third time, does anyone wish to speak? That being the case, I'll close the public hearing. We'll proceed to resolution 37. I need a motion and a second. Supervisor Vespalic, Supervisor Schwab. Any discussion? Ready to vote electronic? We'll vote electronically.
What does it look like?
Present is grayed out, but it's not bringing the home.
Have you seen, did you vote? No.
No, he's blanked out, yeah. This did require a 3/4 vote and it is unanimous. Our next item is resolution 38, which is the borrowing for the TID in Kewaskum. Motion in a second, please. Supervisor Bossert, Supervisor Toma. Any discussion? There being none, we'll vote electronically.
Is yours still frozen, Chris?
This time, well,
Also unanimous. Thank you. Our next item is a consent agenda. I'm going to pull my comments out for now. So we'll vote the consent agenda without that. Any motion and second? Supervisor Krebs, Supervisor Hartwig? Any discussion or questions? There being none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, the reason I pulled out my comments is that we were notified yesterday that Supervisor Smichek has moved out of his district. So in accordance with the proper rules, he has resigned. He sent me a email and it says, "It is with great sadness that I announce my immediate resignation from the Washington County Board of Supervisors due to moving outside of my district. It has been a pleasure serving with such great people. Sincerely, William J. Smichek." So that's why he's not here today. And will the clerk please advertise that we have a vacancy? Hopefully we'll have somebody step up in the election process and we'll decide next steps at executive meeting next week. So our next item is the 4-H awards.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Ranjit Weiss. I'm a 4-H educator for Washington County. The Wisconsin 4-H Key Award Program is one of the highest recognitions a 4-H member can receive. This award recognizes a select group of 4-H participants in each county across the state of Wisconsin who have demonstrated consistent growth in their 4-H involvement, development, and applied their leadership skills and actively participated in the function of their 4-H club and community. Youth apply and then are interviewed through a committee of the Recognition and Achievement Committee. And then the state is informed of who those recipients are. Every county is given a certain number of recipients based on 4-H enrollment, and Washington County had 5. The Achievement Committee came to me with a dilemma that out of all the applications that they received, they had 6 that floated to the top and were excellent. And with only 5 available, they asked me what to do. So in working with my area extension director, Cindy Sarkady, we petitioned the 4-H state director and they approved a 6th award, key award. Tonight, I was expecting 3. I'm still looking for 1, but we have 2 of those 6 key award winners. I believe their names and a small bio is in your packet. But very quickly, I'll call to the podium a couple to speak for a minute or two about their engagement in their career of 4-H and what it's meant to them. But very quickly, Kate Delcor of West Bend, Mason Falk of Colgate, who is in West Bend also, high school. Michaela Kibitsky is at Concordia University. She will not be here because she's away at studies. Megan Moskeller is at Slinger. Mason Wilcom is at Florida Institute of Technology. He's a freshman studying aerospace technology. And Matthew Zager of Hartford, who is here. So I would like to call Kate Delcor, one of our key award winners, to take a minute or two just to introduce herself and what her 4-H career has meant to her.
And sir, as each gives their presentation, we have a commendation for each that the clerk will read after they're done.
Very good. Thank you.
All right. Hi, my name is Kate Delcor. I'm a senior at West Bend East High School. I've been a member of 4-H for 13 years, ever since I was in kindergarten, and now I'm currently a member of the Good Luck 4-H Club in West Bend. Some of my favorite projects in 4-H, I like to do cake decorating, archery, and poultry, showing my chickens at the fair. There are many, many things I enjoy about 4-H, and I've learned so much over the years, but some of my favorites were the 4-H trips and experiences I got to go on. one of my favorites was the American Spirit Experience. That's where we went on a bus with about 50 other Wisconsin youth that wanted to go explore, and we traveled out east. So I got to visit many different historical places, and I even got to see New York City, which I thought was super cool. On this trip, I connected with so many people, and I'm still friends with many of them to this day. So I really appreciate that. My other trip that I really liked was National 4-H Congress, where I met people from all over the country, not just the state. So that was super cool to see how 4-H works in different parts of the country and what other people do. Let's see. And then what else do I do? My note deleted. Okay, I got it back. So at National 4-H Congress, there were many different inspirational speakers. So I left that feeling all inspired, and there were many different leadership workshops where I learned how to be a better community member. And as a community member, I really like to volunteer. There's lots of different things I like to do. I love being a 4-H summer camp counselor and helping out at archery, teaching the younger youth. I know a lot of other youth struggle with getting their required volunteer hours for high school or for National Honor Society or such, but I barely even track my hours anymore because I just see it as fun and helping people. I want to continue helping out with 4-H for the rest of my life as an adult volunteer, helping the future generations learn and get to experience the same things that I did. And for the future, 4-H has helped me really want to just kind of help people. So I'm really interested in science and math. So I'd kind of like to work with some of the younger generations in building new things and helping our community. So thank you.
Can you turn my mic on?
Gotcha.
This is Kate. Whereas Kate Delcor has achieved the highest award in 4-H youth development, that being the Wisconsin Key Award. And whereas the 4-H youth development program promotes the ideals of character, conduct, patriotism, and service, encouraging members to become productive and contributing citizens. And whereas Kate Delcor, a 4-H member, represents our county's greatest resource, that being our youth. And whereas Kate Delcor continues the legacy of 4-H youth development in the United States and serves as a role model for young 4-H members. And whereas Kate Delcor serves as an inspiration to all of us, demonstrating that hard work and perseverance can make dreams come true. Now therefore be it hereby resolved that Wisconsin 4-H Key Award recipient Kate Delcor be commended for her achievement of 4-H youth development's highest award.
Thank you, everyone. Kate's parents are right back there too. If everybody wants to wave back to the parents, parents can wave right there. Thank you very much too. Our next student is Matthew Zager.
Hello, everyone. My name is Matthew Zagar. I am 17 years old, a senior in high school, a homeschooled student, and have been part of the 4-H program for 10 years. The biggest thing that I have enjoyed in 4-H is the variety. Through 4-H, I have been able to participate in many projects. In addition to leadership roles, I have done shooting sports, robotics, photography, music, drama, and others that I haven't had come to mind right now. So I believe that 4-H is really a great program for finding one's talents and developing them. In addition, I have been able to do a number of community service opportunities through my club, including, Adopt a Highway, roadside cleanups, but also I have led committees where we do Christmas caroling at senior homes. During COVID, I ended up recording a video for a local senior home, and instead of being able to be there in person, which we weren't, I ended up sending the video to our 4-H leaders, who sent that to multiple senior homes in the area, and we were able to spread some Christmas joy during that year when we weren't able to be there in person. So I believe that 4-H has prepped me for future studies and for future community involvement through all of these projects, through just the process of doing fair, through the process of record books, all the work that needs to be put in that I may not like at the time, but in the end, it's worth it. So I believe that really has helped my mentality going forward in studying in my future career. So yeah, I thank you all for this opportunity, and yes, thank you.
Whereas Matthew Zagar has achieved the highest award in 4-H youth development, that being the Wisconsin Key Award. And whereas the 4-H Youth Development Program promotes the ideals of character, conduct, patriotism, and service, encouraging members to become productive and contributing citizens. And whereas Matthew Zagar, a 4-H member, represents our country's greatest resource, that being our youth. And whereas Matthew Zagar continues the legacy of 4-H youth development in the United States and serves as a role model for young 4-H members. And whereas Matthew Zagar serves as an inspiration to all of us, demonstrating that hard work and perseverance can make dreams come true. Now therefore be it resolved that Wisconsin 4-H Key Award recipient Matthew Zagar be commended for his achievement of 4-H youth development's highest award.
Our next item of business is resolution 39 for our next biennial budget. I need a motion and a second. Supervisor Shadron, Supervisor Kelly. Do we amend them now? I believe we have an amendment which was discussed in the executive committee and has been endorsed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At this point in time, I'd like to make a motion to amend the 2024-25 budget by reducing expenditures in the UW extension budget by $391,902 and $403,131 in 2024 and 2025 respectively, and by increasing expenditures in the county budget by $391,902 and $403,131 in 2024 and 25 respectively. I'd like to make the motion at this time, and once we have a second, I have some more comments to make, sir.
We have a second from Supervisor Kelly.
Thank you. You all should have received a copy of a letter that Chairman Schleif and I submitted a week or two ago, yes. But there seems to have been some confusion, and I want to take at this point in time to make sure we perfectly clarify this action we're taking here tonight has absolutely nothing to do with what's happening at UWC. They are two totally different entities. They have no relationship with each other than having a UW in the beginning of their titles. And I don't want there should not be any misconception or confusion regarding that. It happens to be coincidental as to the timing that the activities regarding that campus and this action here are coming together at similar times. There is no relationship whatsoever between the activities with the campus out there and what we're proposing here. And as an aside, for the last year and a half, I guess, I've served on a statewide counties association committee looking at the role of extension in county government. And unfortunately, it's like many state-run committees, they move very, very slowly. So we've had some proposals and then say, okay, fine, we'll get together in 3 months and discuss it again. I think we've all seen some of that happen in our local governments here. I just want you to be aware that the decision Washington County has made with this amendment to move some of these responsibilities around is not new discussion across the state. It's happening in all the counties. What is the role of extension today? Now, I was a farm kid growing up in Winnebago County. I grew up with extension, and like these young people here tonight, congratulations to all of you. I was in 4-H till I couldn't be in 4-H anymore. My dad was a 4-H leader. And that to me is one of the key things that we get from the 4-H in my mind. And another emphasis point of the letter that came from Chairman Schleif and I was that 4-H budgets are not impacted by this decision. We will make no cuts in 4-H whatsoever. This has been a number one discussion point from the very first time this was brought up in our county executive's office for discussion. There will be no changes, or I can't say changes, there'll be no budget cuts to 4-H. So don't even think that, oh, we're going to cut the county 4-H budget. We're not touching it. So I just want to make sure you're clear on that. I also work with other organizations around the United States, and in the last 2 months, I've had conversations with them. They're agricultural oriented people. And I've asked them what's happening with their counties and with the extension programs. The one guy, a colleague out in Idaho, said, extension out here is dead. He said, they don't even exist. And it's because the extension that I grew up with as a kid, the extension that many of you remember when you used to have a county agent, as we no longer have that title anymore. We had a home economist in the state. In Washington County, the home economist came to our home at the homemakers meetings And that's how my mother learned how to use a pressure cooker to prepare and preserve food. But those roles have changed. We've got associations around the industry today, agricultural associations that are leading the way with education programs. I'm not to diminish the role of extension, but the fact is the advent of the internet. A farmer has a particular question, or a youth member who wants to know about rocketry or photography can go online and get education. And so in that regard, some of the roles of extension have been diminished. And it's not to say they aren't valuable. And one of the things that has come up the last 2 or 3 years with the ag listening sessions that our county executive has had was, can we use these monies perhaps in a better way? And that's why the proposal that was in the letter that you got from Chairman Schleif and I, Chairman Schleif and me, my wife would correct my grammar, is that we want to look to the community and look for more suggestions from the community itself, whether it's a task force or some other kind of community committee, whatever we call it, and take guidance from them as to what kind of programs should we have in the county using those same funds. And it may mean that there's no change in extension. The community may come back to us and say, hey, we love what Carol's doing. We love what Ron's doing. Don't change a thing. Well, if that's the case, then they will decide. We won't. And it won't be from directives from the UW extension out of Madison. It'll be a community-wide decision and choice. That's why we want to take this step. Now, what we're doing tonight doesn't impact the budget. The budget doesn't change at all. All we're doing is moving the dollars from this column to this column. So it's not a budgetary thing. I just want to explain to you more some of the reasoning and the thinking that has come behind this decision. And as we move ahead, we want to get into this, kickstart this very quickly into the new year. I've had discussion with the county executive's office. I've had some discussion with Cindy, with the extension office. We want to get this community organization group, task force, whatever you want to call it, up and running quickly. Because we can't wait until March or April or May or June, because at that point in time, once the tractors start to roll, you aren't going to get the Aggies to come to a meeting. They've got farms to take care of. And so we need to get things started quickly. It does not impact any activities for the rest of this calendar year. And going forward into 2025, 2024, it really shouldn't impact anything, because the programs will continue until such time as this community group tells us to start making some changes. So if you have any particular questions, let me know at some point in time, but I just want to explain to you what we're doing tonight is all we're doing is moving money from one column in the budget to another. And eventually what this committee does, task force, whatever you want to call it, their suggestions will come back through the Land Use and Planning Committee, which has oversight for extension, and then we will work with the extension people. And we've had conversations with Cindy and some of the other members over there that, yes, they are very definitely going to be part of this discussion. We can't move forward knowing where to go without some of their leadership and guidance. At that point in time, I guess, Mr. Chairman, I have nothing else to say. So thank you.
Is there any further discussion, questions, et cetera? There being none, we'll vote on the amendment. The amendment is a simple majority vote. It passes unanimously. So do we have any discussion on the budget? There being none, we'll vote Mr. Krebs.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Not sure if this question would be for finance or for Josh. But I've lost my page that I was on. the general fund balance in this budget every year seems to be going down by a million or a little better every year. Wondering if there's a plan or a purpose for the deficit spending on that, if that's just related to trying to reduce our general fund balance or what the reason is with that. Hooray.
Sure. So typically what you'll find in this budget is, we'll spend one-time fund balance on one-time items, or items that we know are going to no longer continue into future budgets. It's a common thing that a lot of governments do. It really is just a recognition that you don't want to levy for one-time expenditures, and you use fund balance for that. We always monitor our fund balance levels, as you know, and we're comfortable with the spending that's in there. It's because it's one-time things. We wouldn't consider it a structural deficit. And so we're comfortable with the one-time uses of the fund balance that's in there.
Okay, I saw that they were both about a million, so I didn't know if it was a structural deficit or if if there's any examples of larger ticket items that kind of are the causes of this, but that was just my concern.
Sure.
So,
Yeah,
thank you.
it's like I said, one-time stuff that's in there. So,
Thank you.
sure.
Supervisor Conrad.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to essentially share a thank you for this very detailed budget and all the narrative involved in it. And especially too, I sit on Public Safety Committee and we did that, referendum for the crime bill and all the details included behind that and how the needs are still, being addressed. Even though that bill did not pass with the Plan B. So it is greatly appreciated. And I appreciate Mike Fody too for printing this out for me. I wanted to try and do my due diligence. This is not my forte. And so I am also to, trust but verify. And I just wanted to, share with the public that there is a lot of good detail in here. And if there's something that they end up, finding that's of concern, please always, bring that forward in the future too. But we've all, I'm certain, tried to do our due diligence here. And I can imagine at the national level how easy it is to hide things or miss things. But I just wanted to say thank you for the detail. So we could try and do our best.
Mr. Executive, did you have a comment? Okay, in that case, we'll vote electronically. This requires a 2/3 vote. It passes unanimously. Our thanks to all staff, the board, the county executive. Everyone worked tirelessly for months to deliver this budget. It's our second biennial budget. We're proud again to deliver a balanced budget reflecting a cut in county property taxes. Congratulations all. Our next item is Resolution 40, grant application for aquatic invasive species prevention and control. Are there any questions or discussion? Oh, motion and second, please. Supervisor Shadron, Supervisor Visbalik. Discussion? And we'll vote electronically. Passes unanimously. Our next item is resolution 41, supporting Operation Greenlight for veterans. Supervisor Mary, Supervisor Schultheis. Any discussion? And we'll vote electronically. Also passes unanimously. Next up is resolution 42, tax deed sale to Habitat for Humanity of Washington and Dodge counties. Motion and a second, Supervisor Bossert, Supervisor Toma. Any discussion? We'll vote. It's unanimous. And our last resolution is resolution 43, tax deed sale to Leah McCown. Motion and a second, please. Supervisor Hartwig, Supervisor Bailey. Any discussion? We'll vote electronically. Also unanimous. Our next meeting is Wednesday, December 13th at 6 p.m. This meeting's adjourned. One thing before you all run out the door, we're doing the employee appreciation again in February. If you all would be willing to chip in $100, we'll do gift cards like we did the last couple of years. Thank you. I think I'll call on executive committee to help with that. Yes.